There was a time in the early 2000s when every auto manufacturer thought the crossover was going to be the next big thing to hit the auto industry, and Ford didn't have one.
That's all we need.
The Ford Freestyle concept car was unveiled to the public at the Detroit Auto Show in 2003. It received a very positive response from the public, so much so that it was greenlighted almost immediately. The Freestyle never became the hot new vehicle that Ford was hoping for. But why is that? Why did the public reject the Ford Freestyle? I thought we'd take an in-depth look at the Freestyle, and maybe we can answer that question at the end of the video.
Somewhere between a car and an SUV is an entirely new place. Introducing the Ford Freestyle. It has theater-style seating and the cargo capacity of leading SUVs. It has the 29 miles per gallon fuel efficiency and all-wheel drive handling like a car. It even gives you confidence in knowing that every part has gone through years of testing. The new Ford Freestyle. It's exactly like nothing else. Ford, built for the road ahead.
Introduced in September 2004 as a 2005 model, the Ford Freestyle was the vehicle Ford slated to replace the Taurus wagon. It rode on the Volvo D3 platform that was shared with the Ford 500 and Mercury Montego. The Freestyle was styled in the aero look of the early 2000s. It featured two composite headlamps with side marker/turn signals, a crosshatch grille with a Ford blue oval front and center. It utilized a lower air intake for cooling, with fog lamps being available in higher trim levels. The sides of the crossover featured lower body side cladding and large wheel lip moldings. The rear featured flush tinted glass that, through the use of a blackout panel, appeared to wrap around the rear of the vehicle. The rear composite lamps housed turn signals and backup lights, and the rear bumper acted as a step into the storage compartment and wrapped around the rear of the crossover. Like a minivan, the Freestyle offered either 1, 2, or 3 rows of seating for up to 7 passengers. The 203 horsepower, 3.0-liter Durotech V6 was the only power plant offered. However, the Freestyle was available as a front-wheel drive or as an all-wheel drive. All Freestyles received a CVT transmission, an Eisen for front-wheel drive versions, or a ZF for all-wheel drive models. Standard features included power steering and power 4-wheel anti-lock disc brakes, a compact spare tire, a passive anti-theft system, illuminated entry, keyless entry, first-row bucket seats with power driver's seat, a fold-down passenger seat, second-row reclining 40/40 bucket seats, a third-row fold-in floor bench seat, 12 cup holders, an overhead console, a front and center console, power windows and locks, a rear window defroster, a roof rack, power mirrors, a tilt wheel, and wheel-mounted speed control. The entry-level trim was the SE, which offered standard features as well as an AM/FM CD player, air conditioning, and 17-inch 7-spoke painted aluminum wheels. The mid-range model would be the SEL. That added fog lamps, body-colored door handles and mirrors, automatic headlamps, heated power mirrors, security approach lamps, an AM/FM 6-disc in-dash CD changer with MP3 capability, a message center with a compass, leather-wrapped steering wheel and shift knob, and steering wheel-mounted audio controls. The top-of-the-line model was the Limited that added body color side cladding, an audiophile sound system with a subwoofer, memory settings for the driver's seat and side view mirrors, outside temperature display, leather trimmed seats, heated 8-way power driver's seat, and a 4-way power front passenger seat, second-row comfort seat tracks with a console, third-row 50/50 fold-in floor split bench seat, a wood grain appearance instrument panel, a cargo net, and 18-inch 5-spoke aluminum wheels. Popular options included a DVD family entertainment system, power adjustable pedals with memory, a reverse sensing system, and a power moonroof. Safety was often touted with the Freestyle. Ford offered a patented safety canopy airbag system, which wrapped all passengers with side curtain airbags in the event of a rollover, and the Freestyle received a 5-star crash safety rating in 4 categories. Press reviews were good but not great. Consumer Reports stated the Freestyle has a fair amount of passenger space. Access to the third row is similar to a minivan and better than the narrow pass offered in other 3-row SUVs. Acceleration from the 3.0-liter V6 is sufficient, but the engine is noisy. The Freestyle sold well in its first year of production, with Ford dealers delivering 81,335 Freestyles for the 2005 model year.
Ford Freestyle crossover. More than 500 miles to a tank of gas.
Thanks for inviting me this weekend. Sure. All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
Bye, Dad. Bye, Dad.
Bye.
Bold moves. They happen every day.
2006 was almost a complete carryover year for the Freestyle. The only notable change was Ford offering a new optional in-dash navigation system with a 6.5-inch LCD display. Freestyle sales dropped by 25%, with Ford dealers delivering 59,791 Freestyles for the 2006 model year. 2007 started out as mostly another carryover year for the Freestyle. The SE model designation was dropped, leaving only the SEL and Limited. However, halfway through the model year, Ford's new president, Alan Mulally, reinstated the Taurus nameplate, and the Freestyle became the Taurus X, and this name change brought with it revisions. Ford restyled the front of the car, adding a new horizontal 3-bar grille and new headlamp buckets and front bumper cover. The 3.0-liter V6 was replaced with the 263 horsepower 3.5-liter V6. The CVT transmission was replaced with a Ford/GM 6-speed automatic transmission. New power options were added, including a power rear liftgate and power folding seats. None of this made a positive impact on sales. Ford dealers delivered 42,110 Freestyles and Taurus X's combined for the 2007 model year. 2008 brought a few changes to the Taurus X. Ford added the outdoorsy Eddie Bauer name to the trim lineup, Sirius satellite radio became an option, and Ford's new sync system powered by Microsoft makes an appearance. Once again, sales numbers dropped, with Ford dealers delivering only 23,112 Taurus X's for the 2008 model year. 2009 would be the last year of production for the Taurus X, and there would be no changes of note. In collector terms, the 2009 Taurus X would be considered rare, as Ford dealers delivered only 6,106 Taurus X's for the 2009 model year. It needs to be noted here that the replacement for the Taurus X, the Ford Flex, was sold beside the Taurus X in 2009. In the past, an SUV was built more like a truck. They used body-on-frame construction, and a crossover was more like a car, utilizing unibody construction. Now, I believe the Freestyle ultimately failed, as did many of the early American crossovers, because it came out at a time when the SUVs actually got better. They became more car-like. The lines that defined a SUV and a crossover became closer together. They got very, very blurred. The other thing is, there was a lot of competition in the crossover segment, and there were simply cheaper and better built crossovers by other manufacturers. Ford hardly uses the term crossover today in their marketing. However, many of the vehicles that they build today that they call SUVs would have been considered crossovers in the early 2000s. Today's Escape, Explorer, and the Bronco Sport are all unibody SUVs that were built much more like a crossover than they are like a truck. Really, if you want a Ford crossover today, you need to buy a Mach-E. Imported crossovers have always been popular. Subaru's entire lineup is comprised of crossovers. So for those that thought the crossover was going to be the next big thing, well, they were right on the money. Even if those of us that would prefer to drive a car wish they weren't.
That's the goddamn truth.
Now, if you enjoyed this video, please click that like button down there. That helps other folks see it. Also, consider subscribing. I have a lot of content like this on the channel. I have this video right over here. It covers the Ford 500 and the Mercury Montego. These were the sister cars to the Ford Freestyle. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll see you.